Tyson. Kinyanjui anaipana Tyson dhidi ya kakake, pasi imepita. Kinyanjui anaimimina nani, imefanyiwa blocking. Ya pili haijenga ndani, Tyson! Julius Masaba! This is Ingwe brother! Hii ni Ingwe friend of body! Ingwe asali na maziwa! Asali na maziwa milele! Wanatangulia na Ingwe! Mchezo mzuri, matokeo mazuri mpaka sasa. Julius Masaba, goli lake la kwanza katika debi yake ya kwanza Mashemeji. Vita vikali alivyoanzisha Ingwe, vita ambavyo anavimudu. Masaba juiliwa bure hapa wakati anababatiza, na alilishuka katika mguu wake. Tyson alifanyia punching, lakini Masaba alikuwa on time. Kasi yake ilimzidi Paulo Chioga. Goli lake la kwanza katika debi ya Mashemeji. Julius Masaba anawapa furaha wana Ingwe, anawapa raha Ingwe Yola. Chui ametoa kucha zake, kucha zinazopita katika ngozi iliyokuwa imekauka.
Passion bora yake Julius Masaba Maseven walikuwa naisubiria wana Ingwe, waliona kwa mbali kabisa, akilalama Enoch Morrison na Charles Kobla Nakono, lakini furaha ribo ananyanyua wana Ingwe 7 mpaka sasa.
Monday morning, welcome to Monday Blitz. I am Katela Mason, of course. I am not alone. I'm joined with, I call him the tallest man in Madara United, Coach Kabethi. Mambo vipi?
Safi kabisa.
Nini mko mnyonge hivi?
Si unyonge, ni furaha. At least tumepiga Kenyan champions wenye wanacheza CAF weekend. Yeah, under 17 wakashinda kikombe. So imekuwa wiki tamu sana.
And Annette Washira, I can see. I unleash. Fungua.
Fungue.
Tuonyeshe.
Guys.
So Bajabera amefanya mambo yake.
Bajabera need to represent. He was in for just a few minutes and he scored a goal. So yeah, may make my week.
Debut match.
In his debut,
yes.
In his first touch. Ni mingi, niendelee.
And of course, Rambayo Safi, Papa Fred Arucho.
Yes.
Weekend inajua imekubamba.
Well, it can never be better than this weekend. Shabana won. Manchester United is just about to win. Which other? KCB won. And Arsenal lost.
And talking about Arsenal, question of the day is, do you think Arsenal can keep up with the pressure? Unaona ni kama watatoboa? That's the question of the day about Arsenal since they lost to Aston Villa. And remember, Aston Villa last season, they did the same, home and away. But let's start hapa nyumbani, Mashemeji derby. Starting with me, I thought Gor Mahia will do that thing, but FC Leopard surprised us. Masaba did that thing jana. Arocha, let me start with you.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to commend the fans. It's long since I saw such a crowd in a Kenyan Premier League. The organizers, Gor Mahia, did a splendid job. The logistics behind the game, the fact that designated gates were assigned to various clubs. So basically, the arrangement was splendid. Something that somehow brought a lot of some tension before the match was the armed forces training. And I think I have to say this on this show. I don't know why our forces, when they're preparing for a national day, they have to go to Nyayo Stadium. Nyayo Stadium currently, for me, is an area that we need just to preserve, because this is where the top African football is going to be played in the next two years. So I don't know why they have to go there. I might be rubbing the military the wrong way, but whoever made that decision Guys, we have Uhuru Park, we have the other one is called, on Langata Road.
Let's have Ulinzi.
We have Ulinzi. Surely, let them just let that pitch be ready for AFCON. But getting back to the pitch, I think Gor Mahia had a wrong strategy in the last 2 weeks, because I saw Gor play against AP Bomet, and I feel that the coach played French players preparing for the derby on the 7th. So when the derby did not happen, it really affected his plan, and that's why they lost. In my opinion, that's why they lost against AP, and they lost heavily. And yesterday, I feel that there's some sort of complacency that is getting into that team. The various stars at Gor Mahia, we never saw them yesterday. A good player and a big player is regarded when he performs in a big moment. I never saw the big players that are currently at Gor Mahia. They ought to have really brought some changes, because FC Leopards scored quite early. If there was anything they could have done, they had about 70 or 60 or so minutes. So congratulations to FC Leopards. The jinx is now broken, and I believe they can now challenge for the league.
They can challenge for the league.
Yes, for me, this is a turning point.
Yes.
It's a turning point because winning. When was the last time FC Leopards won against Gor Mahia? So for me, this should be a turning point for FC Leopards. Winning the league is still possible with Leopards.
I was not fortunate enough to go to the stadium, but I watched it at home, which I think for me nakuanga just a bit better from the analysis point of view. FC were better, even in terms of possession, against Gor Mahia. And there's something we usually say about derbies. In derbies, form is thrown out of the window. Coming into the game, regardless of your top of the table, regardless of how many wins you've accumulated, form is thrown out of the window. And then just to add on what Fred has said, you see, he rested the players, he rested his star players for 1 week, then the derby got postponed. So if you're looking at match fitness, some of these players had not played in the past 2 weeks. So unfortunately for them, Akono ameona sasa the real side of football, because sasa kulose derby ndo inaanza kuweka pressure. Yeah, but other than that, for me, FC actually outplayed, and Ambani used a very good strategy. Alienda for experience. He put the likes of Kina Tyson Otieno, Masaba. So he went for experience so that he can outplay Gor Mahia, and he did that successfully.
Before I come to you, Coach Ken Kabethi, let's listen what Coach Ambani had to say about yesterday's derby.
Niliangalia vile timu iko, nikaangalia game leo, nataka wazoefu. Watu wanasikia nilifiwa kina Masaba, kina Kinyash, Tai, wote walikuwa tu uzoefu ya game. Na nikasema juu niko na historia sijafungwa na Gor Mahia, itabidi pia tena nitafuta wachezaji wanaweza nisaidia pia nisifungwe. Sasa unaona, na nilikuwa nimwambia mimi sijafungwa, nimedraw zote. Sasa tunatafuta ni ushindi. Na Mungu amenisaidia ushindi, nashukuru sana. Najua watakuja juu wote, sasa watakuja juu, lazima pia nikuwe mzuri ku defend. Sasa kuna pia at least niingize watu wanaweza nisaidia pia kwa kudefend. Sasa unaona hata nimetoa joke juu walikuwa washafungwa, ni kama kila ball wanapitia hapo, niingiza Manu ni stopper, lakini nilikuwa najua ile bidii yako na ile nguvu yako na kila kitu yako na atatusaidia ku defend hiyo shimo. Na unaona vile mengi hapo, hiyo shimo imekuja kaziba pia. So FC tunaenda taji, si uongo, tunaenda taji. Na ukiangalia vile wachezaji wamecheza leo, wachezaji wamecheza kama watu wanataka taji. So hii at least wanachawaambia ukitaka kuchukua taji lazima ushinde mtu yote ako juu yako. Sasa hii ni ya kwanza. Sasa tunatafuta watu wako juu yetu wote, lazima tuweke mfukoni ndio at least tuko tunajua tunachukua ligi.
Bethi, coming to you about the derby yesterday. I've seen you've agreed with Annette that FC was the better team yesterday. What's your take on the derby, Jana?
Yes, I agree with both Arocho and Annette because as a coach, and one thing I've noticed with the Gors coach Akono is always keen on the rhythm. For him, I've noticed once there's a disconnect or disruption in the rhythm, it disrupts the performance of the team. So as Arocho and Annette have said, the break where Gor had because of the postponement of the Mashemeji derby affected the team a lot, and I think AFC prepared well for this game, and I said here on the show, Ambani is going to bring change, not only in FC, in the league. Now they're only 3 points behind the league leaders. So
some of the league leaders who?
So it's just a matter of time FC to come back as league contenders, and I agree with Irocho. They might have that breakthrough. And something else with the Mashemeji derby that I was super happy was the marketing of it, the preparation of it. I could see ticketing started a bit early. I think this is the earliest I've seen for a Mashemeji derby ticketing. The arrangements of the fans, the opponent and everything. So I think that contributed to the huge number turnout we saw. I think Gor made something like 7-point-something million in that match. So it's good for the game.
7.1. Now, still at home, Police yesterday after their last loss, they beat Kariobangi Sharks. Jana waliwapiga 1-0 and Mafande, they were so happy yesterday. Arocho?
Well, I even wonder why fans were happy, Police fans were happy. Currently, Kariobangi Sharks are doing so badly. They are the last on the log. I think there's a problem at Sharks. It might not be said loud, but I think something is not really right at Sharks. Their coach was away with the national team, the under-17, but they are somehow in a very unfamiliar position. And if something is not done, then perhaps they might be relegated. But I like the challenge that Police is now bringing into the league. I like the challenge that now Gor Mahia can be dethroned. You lose a match, you're off the top of the table. And we can also see the likes of Shabana coming in. The win against Bidco should catapult the team, both psychologically and on the log, because there's been a problem at Shabana, and in my opinion, it has been psychological kind of in deficiency after the ODM at 20 when they played in Mombasa. Since then, I've not seen my Shabana, but the win against Bidco for me should help the team move on, and the league in general, it stirs up the league. Sure. Because I normally feel somehow uncomfortable when there's only one team that is dominating the league. Police getting up there, and I believe in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll see my Shabana up there. I'll see FC Leopards, and that's why I still insist. FC Leopards is going to challenge, because normally what happens with the Kenyan derby, it changes the mindset of the winner. Most likely is going to change the mindset. What was lacking at FC Leopards was more of the psychological prominence. That is what was lacking at FC Leopards. FC Leopards had very good players, but that psychological turnaround is what they needed. And I believe that with the win against Gor Mahia, with the win in the derby, this will propel the team into challenging for the league this season.
Police and Kariobangi Sharks.
Me, I'm very happy. Two of my teams, my Kenya Premier League team, my English Premier League team, tutamaliza season number 1.
Ouch.
Sino kweli, sasa hata mwezi argue. Arsenal drop points, Gor Mahia drop points. It's good. It's a good feeling to be on top. But talking about the game, I actually don't think Police did their best. They played against Kariobangi Sharks, and their only goal came from a set piece by Abudomar. So I think, yes, we are challenging for the title. Yes, we won that game, but against Kariobangi Sharks, I think we would have opened up the goal difference up there. But other than that, they've kept a good showing. Police lost points to Gor Mahia in the previous week. So even to Shabana. So you can imagine our 2 big derbies, we lost points. So even coming to Kariobangi Sharks, I think there's still so much we need to work on, because the matches that, as Arocho says, the matches that affect your psychological preparations as a player, they lost those 2 matches. So for them, I think being title defenders, I mean, tulishinda last season, they need to pull up their socks in the games that really, for me, matter. Other than that, congratulations to Shabana for beating Bidco just 1 goal.
We're coming to that.
Just one.
No, not just one. That was a win. That is a story. No, that is a yes. It's a topic in itself.
Specifically coming to Shabana versus Bidco. Coach Ken Kabedhio, game ya Police na Kariobangi Sharks.
You know, it's it tells the story of football at the moment from a coaching perspective. Sharks plays one of the most beautiful football. Unfortunately, where I'm coming to
Coach
that.
Ken Kabedi a chance.
No, but it's true.
Me and Nairoto, we are in the same table. It's only that we are having some.
Approaching.
Okay.
No, no.
Please go ahead, Coach Ken.
Sharks plays one of the most beautiful football. The only thing they lack is the conversion of that beautiful football to goals. Now it becomes biscuit football. Police, if you saw that match, they didn't play as good.
Yes.
And that is where it began. That is the discussion and the reality of football now. At the moment, it doesn't matter how good you play, it's how many goals you score. If I score more than you, I win the match, that is enough. And that set piece that we say was the only thing Police had, that is the set piece that has put them on top of the table.
Yes.
So unfortunately, I might see Sharks getting relegated, and it will be not a good thing in the Kenyan football, because we also need these teams that can bring some flares and development in the top league. Other than that, congratulations to Police, and I hope Sharks will be able to make a turnaround.
We are still in the sport pesa. Arocho, relax.
No, I have to challenge. So please,
Okay,
I have to challenge.
Please,
you
go
know, Coach, and I like him as a coach. He does so well as a coach. He represents the coaches. But guys, the bottom line in football is your goals. I disagree with him when he says that Sharks are playing beautiful football. What do you mean by beautiful football and you're lagging at the bottom of the log? That one for me, detoy kwa hiyo kind of reasoning. Football or any other thing in life, it's about being the best. So currently they're not the best, so you cannot tell me about beautiful football and all that. But what was your question?
It wasn't a question. I just want to say, before we move on to the English Premier League,
Yes.
Arocho, just 1 minute. Let's talk about Shabana versus
No. You know you're being unfair.
No, I'm giving you the
cannot
chance.
say-
Only you.
You
before we
cannot
move.
say that
Before we
Shabana, we're only doing Shabana 1 minute.
No, it's only for you.
No,
it's
they have
only
to
for you.
respond.
Okay, we have one minute.
Okay, we have 1 minute.
Okay.
Arocho, I'll start
Let's
you.
start with them,
No,
then
I'm
I
starting
finish.
with you.
I
I'm
crown.
starting with you because I know you have a lot to say
Well-
about Shabana versus...
Well, Shabana is back. And as I normally say, there's only one Shabana. You saw what happened yesterday when Gor played FC Leopards. That is what happens at Gusii every day. You see that kind of atmosphere that you saw, the fans enjoying themselves. That is what happens every day at Gusii. But on a serious note, I think Shabana are doing well. The fact that the coach was not there did not really affect the team.
Yes,
You saw, I think we've won 2 and picked 1 draw in his absence. So for me, it shows that the kind of technical bench that is there is equal to the task. I like what they've done. We've won 2 matches and picked a draw in the absence of Coach Okidi. But this is new, this is fresh, this is news. Shabana is going to be the next champion of the Kenya Premier League.
Wakati tu hiyo.
That's what I say. Hapo nyuma
Ikatwe tu hiyo.
kata tu hiyo and we
Tuta
tupatane hapa.
replay August.
Annette, your game in less than a minute. Wewe na baby.
I think I just mentioned something about Sharks before niseme Shabana. Sharks last season were also in the same position. What they decided to change and what is missing in that squad is actually attacking. They're also missing the likes of Aroko in the front. So I think for them, it's not even a matter of technical or anything. They just need to sign a striker in January. Once they sign a striker, they'll do like what they did last year. Yes. They'll toka 18th, come to 14th, 15th, even panda almost to the first page of the table. The other thing, Shabana, good job, perfect. They played a very beautiful... I actually have never watched a Shabana game and gotten disappointed. So they played really good football. Coach is back. Coach Malala has done a very good job in the absence of Okidi. So congratulations to Shabana. Yes, they're challenging for the title, but I still don't believe they're there yet. I don't believe this is the season yet. Not yet. Bado hajafika.
Atakunyonga coach.
Yeah, I agree with Annette. I don't think Shabana are yet back, as Arocho said, because Walishinda Bidco, they
Wakashindwa na Mathare.
have a number of injuries.
I'll have
you
to
know?
get a rebuttal.
They have a number of injuries, and then hawezi pigwa na Mathare na ubebe ligi. Such things are na tukawapigia kwao.
Unajua sasa tukiendelea history hatutamaliza. Please let's move on. Let's move on.
I'll have to challenge that. Shabana beating Mathare beating Shabana was no problem, but I assure you, in the second leg, we are going to revenge. But another point, I'm so happy that Abid Omar came back and scored a goal.
Okay.
I've not been enjoying the fact that he's not been playing. I don't know why he's not been playing, but God is good. When he's given an opportunity, he scored a goal.
Actually, he scored 2. He scored this game and he scored in the, I think, the other game that they won, I can't remember.
Now let's move on to the English Premier League. I think the world is happy, I being one of them, that...
Mutiso.
I guess that's why Mutiso is not around today. You know, Arsenal lost, Gor Mahia lost. You know, so Arsenal lost to Aston Villa, and this happened last season, and still the same team, bado imewakabako this season. Aston Villa beat Arsenal home and away last season, and this, manze, Matty Cash scored the first goal, and then, what's the name of that guy, the French guy?
Matt, who's the second keeper?
So, did you expect that Aston Villa will lose, Arsenal will lose to Aston Villa?
On a very serious note, I think there's something quite peculiar at Arsenal in that defense. Saliba and Magalhaes, I've never been their fan, but I'm seeing some inefficiency in Arsenal in the absence. Look at the fact that from the beginning of the season of 2022-2023, this is the 4th time that Magalhaes and Saliba have not played in that central defense. And you can see that it's quite shaky. Look at the second goal. I believe that it was somehow a goal that came so cheap, if you ask me. The defenders had an opportunity to clear that ball. And this should be a worry for Arsenal. It should be a worry because these two players, I'm not seeing them playing in the next 2 months together. And if that is the way Arsenal is going to defend, then we'll have a lot of problems. There's a player here that was alisifiwaga sana. Gyökeres.
Superman.
There was he was being given a lot of Gyökeres, Supermans. I wish Mutiso was there. I told Mutiso that, you know, you're taking your cow to the shop. Wacha sisi ndo tusifu. You are ng'ombe. This Gyökeres is a big joke. He's not scoring goals. And a big player, I said it in reference to the Mashemeji derby, a big player is described in a big match.
True.
This was a big match for Arsenal. You've said it quite well that Arsenal lost twice last season against Aston Villa in the league. This was a match for the likes of Gyökeres to step up and confirm their position at Arsenal. Bukayo Saka was not there. And you realize that when Bukayo is not playing, Arsenal does not play. And that is very dangerous. It's very dangerous because he's not scored for, I think, the last 2 or 3 matches. He's given assists. That is positive. But when he doesn't give an assist, he doesn't score, then Arsenal is locked. So this should be a problem. 2 things. One, I've talked about the defense, that is Saliba and Magalhaes, and of course, Bukayo Saka. Arsenal is giving me a reason to smile. They are giving me a reason because initially I said when the season was beginning that Arsenal, this is Arsenal's season. But after this match, alama ya duku-duku.
Anaitwa Shira.
The match between Arsenal and Aston Villa is a match of bitter exes. That's what I call it. Because Unai Emery and the goalkeeper Martinez were both at Arsenal. And every time they go to that stadium, they seek to make a statement. Not even the stadium. Every time they go to face Arsenal, they seek to make a statement. And there's something that usually happens. Something, hata nasemanga Arsenal wamerogwa. Every time they're on top of the table and they're approaching December. Either Saliba gets injured, either Gabriel gets injured, or they get injured together. Even worse, their third defender, Mosquera, got injured as well. So they were playing with 2 backups of backups. So in the partnership of Hincapi and Timber, there's a bit of first of all, Timber was bullied off the ball severally. everybody knew hapa ndio shimo. McGinns, Watkins, they were always switching the ball to where Timber was. So hata kama Arsenal wamekuwa kibrag, sijui wako na depth, sijui anga huu, sijui anga their defense will kill them going into December. To make matters worse, Manchester City beat Sunderland. A Sunderland that beat Chelsea, a Sunderland that disturbed Liverpool, a Sunderland that drew Arsenal. So Manchester City are making their statement. They're saying we're here and we're not going anywhere. Na hakuna kitu mbaya kama tuende December, especially Boxing Day. If we enter Boxing Day with a point difference of less than 2, Manchester City don't know how to lose. Sure. So for Arsenal, another thing in the midfield, Eze and Odegaard cannot play together. Odegaard finds a way of looking busy and overshadowing Eze. So every time Odegaard has the ball, Eze anapotea. So that was another tactical mistake. Trossard came into the game and scored, but he came into the game with an injury. So Arsenal, as much as wamekuwa kisema kona depth, this season bado, I really doubt, unless they're able to keep their form, and they cannot keep their form if their defense is not working. They're forcing Rice kupiga punda. Rice is playing as the 5th defender. There's no way. And you see now that we're looking at the scores, the difference between Manchester City, as I had said, Chelsea will not fight for this title. Angalia sahi mali wako after kutuambia they were beaten even by Leeds. So Manchester City are 2 points away from Arsenal. Just one more game tuwafikie. Tuingie December tukiwa number 1, then we have the title.
Coach Kerkabethi, you're agreeing with Annette on everything she's saying.
I actually agree with all of them. Sadly,
For once.
with Arsenal makes us a reason to smile this weekend, and the tactical disconnect in Arsenal. I think Arteta is in a very strange situation at the moment, where you think you had prepared yourself in the best way possible, and now then you have to, I think now Arteta is being forced to react to changes that is happening at Arsenal. And I think Arsenal, as we said before, we do not know the team that will win the season, but we know the team that will not win the league. And mti imeanza kukauka. So I wish Botiso was here, because mti imeanza kukauka na ndovu, unajua.
Ndovu ameshuka.
Leo nayo kidogo wiki imekuwa mbaya. Now still on the English Premier League, Manchester City 2 points behind Arsenal. They beat Sunderland 3-0. Wacha nianze na wewe Annette. Jana najua Manchester City.
Sijakuja na jazi yangu.
You know Sunderland is that team that the only team that has beaten Sunderland is Manchester United and Manchester City.
Yes, the Manchester.
Wakadro na the Manchesters. And I'll start with you.
I thought Sunderland would disrupt our play. Sunderland have a way of how their coach works is they wanasoma game yenu, wana disrupt play. But what usahau, you cannot read how Pep plays. Pep changes formations every so often. You cannot look at him and read him. Look at the way Ryan Chaki played. In fact, I didn't think he would start Ryan Chaki in that position. It was I think for me in that game, I thought he would give somebody with more match fitness, the likes of Savinho. But akaanzisha Chaki akapena assist Rabona. So for Sunderland, unfortunately, they were not prepared for Manchester City's variations in gameplay. If you watched the game Sunderland played against Arsenal, Sunderland really frustrated Arsenal in the midfield, because they knew all the game. If you frustrate Odegaard, if you frustrate Eze, and you frustrate Saka, you've killed the gameplay. But with Manchester City, there's no particular. Hakuna KDB this season. There's no particular man that you can sit on and frustrate, because that's the kind of football they're playing. They tend to look for the inefficiencies in the team and strike. But now currently, sisi tuko na the best keeper, tuko na the top scorer, tuko na the highest assist in Doku. Like, you have the best coach. I mean, so right now, it's very difficult to look at City and pinpoint the areas of weakness, because first of all, our depth is out of this world. Number 2, we have very many variations in systems of play. So for Sunderland, unfortunately, walidhani sisi ni wanyonge kama timu zingine, but so we picked up the 3 points with 3 goals. Haaland did not score, meaning Innocent alikuwa nasema this is called Haaland FC. With or without Haaland, we will still find a way of converting. So we are the strongest team in the league. Let people know that.
I have bad news for Annette. I'm still quite skeptical with the Man City. Why am I skeptical? I feel that this is not the best of Pep Guardiola. I hope coach will will weigh in on this and give us that perspective from the coach's angle. But this is not the best of Pep Guardiola. Pep has been very good when he's chasing. That is when Pep was Pep. I saw him doing that quite well when he was in the German league. Pep was quite confident, quite formidable, also when he's chasing. But something happened to Pep, I think last season, when he had issues with his wife and all that. I'm seeing a different Pep. And that's why I'm still not confident that Pep is going really to challenge Arsenal the way he does it. He's been doing it. And this is why I feel that Arsenal can still sneak with this trophy, because the challenger is not that challenger, I know. I thought that Liverpool could also give a chase, but now Liverpool is gone, so there's only one team that might give Arsenal a run for their money, and that is Man City. And the reason why I'm saying that I'm skeptical and I'm still not confident that City is going to challenge, two things. One, the coach, and I still believe that Kevin De Bruyne was still important in that team. Kevin used to bring a lot of balance in that team, not necessarily in that midfield, because Kevin could at times act as a striker, score goals, do a lot of assists in that midfield, and even at times defend. So I've not seen anybody at City currently who can have that heavy burden on his shoulders. So when Kevin De Bruyne was leaving Man City, I felt that he needed to at least have been stayed for a year or so. But having said all that, let's give, and as she said, let's give City until the end of this month. The league, the English Premier League, is won or lost in the month of December. So by the time tunaenda Sikuku and we come back for the new year, we'll know where Arsenal will be sitting, and of course where City will be sitting.
Kabethi?
I do not want to take the win away from City, but I think now most coaches, I think apart from 4 teams in EPL, all other coaches are trying to figure out how they can work without the African players. And I think the most affected team, or rather the team that is going to be affected the most, is Sunderland. So I think that might have some factor, that because Sunderland has 7 players who are in the starting 11. So I think that is going to, for some reason, going to affect them, and I think the coach is thinking hard on that, and maybe that might have led to them losing against City, because even players might not give 100%, avoiding injuries and such stuff. But not taking credit away from City, I think City might be league contenders, and I've said here on the show that for a good team is a team that even their second 11 is as good as the first 11. If you have a very strong second team, you can sleep peacefully as a coach. And I think that is one of the things that Pep has at the moment. He has a very strong second 11, that's why he can easily rotate the squad. However, the only thing I fear with Pep is when he overthinks a lot, and I mchuzi. So I really hope, kidogo tu Annette, I really hope he does not overthink, okay? Do your analysis, then just play the simplest way. His squad is full of intelligence, players who are so much intelligent. So I really hope he does not overthink, because if he overthinks, he will let the cup slide.
To sell Kabethi.
Yeah, ni kama Pep overthinks in tournaments, not in the league. That's why we won the league 4 times. That's why we won the league 4 times in a row. So let me tell you, when it comes to league matches, Pep doesn't overthink. In fact, watch games comfortably. But when it comes to tournaments, even if you see how he played in Bayern, look at the Barcelona era, a lot of the leagues, a lot of the tournaments he lost, because tournaments are different from leagues. Leagues are more consistent. And it's the same thing I said again about Leeds. Leeds, what we're going to check up, because Leeds will come back from a 2-0. Leeds came back from a 2-0 loss to a 3-2 win for us. So what happened is people were saying, oh, Manchester City has lost their spark, only for Chelsea to be beaten 3-1 by that Leeds. So
she needs to respond to my point.
Which point?
I'm not seeing the Pep that was in German. I'm not seeing the Pep that won the league 3 times consecutive. I'm not seeing that coach.
Ilikuwa last season. This season, what people don't realize is Pep is very good, as you've said, when he's chasing the league.
Yes.
Wachana tournaments. Tournaments is a completely different ball game. But when Pep is chasing the league, whether or not he was left, whether or not walirudiana, when Pep is chasing the league, he does not falter. That's his strongest point.
Maachwe asiachwe.
Achwe asiachwe, arudiwe.
Now let's move on to vijana onslaught. Liverpool drew with the Leeds United. The third goal came in 90 plus 6 minutes from Tanaka. Something is really happening at Liverpool, and I don't know what is happening. Onslaught, I think, Kimimi Kikosi, somehow, he doesn't understand his code. Arocho, Apo, Onslaught and Liverpool.
I think there's an indeficiency of confidence. Football being a team sport, the moment you drop your confidence, then it's normally a very big problem. I remember there's a season where Arsenal had to bring in an expert to try and talk to the players and uplift their psychological preparedness of a match. So this is currently what is happening at Liverpool. Look at the way Van Dijk is performing. In the last 4 or so matches, Van Dijk has been having... Now, Mutiso, please stop calling me when I'm on air. Mutiso, I'm on air. You've lost your match. But coming back to Liverpool, I think it's confidence issues. Look at the way Liverpool is playing. They're even thinking of letting go one of their best defenders. They're even thinking of letting go of one of their best strikers in the likes of Salah. Salah has been quite consistent. In the last 6 seasons, Salah has been scoring double digits every season. So I wonder why they're even thinking of releasing him. I am seeing the coach trying to look at Salah as the sacrificial lamb. Because Salah was saying the other day that I wonder why the coach is not even talking to me. We started so well in the season, and in fact, he's saying that the coach is the one who convinced him that he stays at Liverpool because he still needs him. And they've been having some cordial kind of a relationship. But things have changed. Currently, they are not even in talking terms. He's not played well in the last 3 matches. In fact, he sat out in this match, and then he even had a gesture to the fans as if things are not well. So this concerted kind of problems, for me, what is bringing issues at Liverpool. They need to settle down, bring in back their confidence, which might take them long, and that's why I said they are not going to be contenders, because this is a very crucial time in the league. It's mid through the first leg, and yet you still don't have your confidence. So that is what is happening at Liverpool. I hope that they're going to put the house in order, because they might not even be playing the Champions League next season.
Before we talk about Mo Salah, let's stick to Liverpool versus Leeds United. Let's talk about that match. Aneta Shira, what do you think about Leeds United having scored their 3rd goal, 90 plus 6 minutes?
Sino nimesema sahi. It was my last point. I said people were laughing at us when we were 2-0 up for Leeds United to come 2-2 for us to win 3-2. They said Man City wameisha. Man City are not title contenders. They're losing to small teams. This team they are calling small has gone on to draw Liverpool, went on to beat Chelsea. So Leeds this season wameamka. There's a lot of hope that has been inspired in that team. If you look at even the match, the way they played, Leeds were hungry. They were hungrier than Liverpool. If you look at even Liverpool's previous matches, Liverpool are struggling in form. So teams going to Liverpool or even playing against Liverpool, they know this is where they're getting points. Na kuna kitu mbaya kwa Premier League kama nyi lose your sense of, Liverpool, they won last season. They're title defenders. But when you see them playing on the field, they're not there. The problem I have with Onslaught went into the transfer window and did not buy good defenders. He let off the likes of Trent. And right now, if you're seeing the mistakes, the first goal from Leeds United was a penalty that was given by Konate. So you can see that previous game nani alikuwa anacheza handi volleyball nani Van Dijk. So there's something in the team, and then if you've played football you know that once a team realizes that players are being kept off, like the likes of Salah, there's some sort of there's something in the team, like Arocho said, confidence levels go down. So your players are seeing that you're adamantly frustrating Salah. And you know Salah is not a player that you should be worried about as a coach. Fine, he's had 3 bad games. There's a lot of bad press in the UK in regards to Salah. Oh, alipata contract, he's not performing. So as a coach, there are things that you should be able to filter out. Okay, Salah is not performing, but is his replacement doing better than him? So I think for Liverpool, they have a long way to go. Ancelotti is getting a taste of what the Premier League looks like now. Because in the previous era, he inherited a team. Letting go of the likes of Luis Diaz. Why? Luis Diaz alikuwa punda wa team. Anachukua ball kutoka defense anakimbia hadi striking. And then you decide as a coach, no, let me sign Isak, let me sign Ekitike, let me sign Reight. Reight alifunga bao juzi, kakua on goal. So he's still in his 007 era. So I think for Liverpool, the mistake they did going into the transfer window, they did not sign good defenders. I mean, the likes of Van Dijk and Konate, the age, just tumeanza kuona there. And then the point is they're also playing very many competitions. You cannot survive very many competitions with just Konate and Van Dijk. So unfortunately for them, even the coach is playing Szoboszlai as a right back. That's how desperate he is for solidifying the defense. So unfortunately for Liverpool, iwatapatikana, but I know they can come back.
Coach Ken Kabedi, hata tuongelee sana Leeds United, Liverpool versus Leeds United. Why do you think Mo Salah is very frustrated at the moment. He's very frustrated. Being a very key player at Liverpool, he has been performing. He has been holding the team down for a very long time. Why do you think Coach Ancelotti anamkalisha chini? Ama what might be the problem? You as a coach,
yes.
Kwa nini sometimes mnakalisha? Do you sit your best players?
Okay. There's different sources of confidence, catalyst of confidence, or complementary of confidence to a player. A good example will be the previous Liverpool. Their confidence came from the coach's charisma. Okay, Arsenal's confidence comes from the system. So Manchester's confidence comes from the structure. So if these things are interrupted, the confidence of the team and players go down. Liverpool at the moment, I think they are losing the coach's charisma, which was one of the sources of their confidence, and 2, the show of leadership from their senior players, someone like Salah. So when players see someone like Salah rubbing shoulders negatively with the coach, their confidence kind of goes down. So I think at the moment, whatever is happening, Salah being benched could be a coach-player problem or an administration-player problem. I don't know what is happening. But what I know is that situation is affecting Liverpool negatively. Salah is a player who, even if he has 1 bad match, 2 bad match, you know, eventually he will do something for the team. And I really hope Liverpool understand that eventually. Without Salah, I think they're going to struggle a lot because there's so many players in that squad who look at Salah as a leader. It's so sad seeing Salah even now going to the media, speaking about these things. It's now going to affect them more negatively unless it is handled swiftly internally. And I want to finish by this. Unfortunately, I've come to notice something about the KNVB coaches. I don't think KNVB is a good thing. We've noticed most of the coaches who've gone through the KNVB thing, they have very poor man management skills in their squad. So hopefully Liverpool will turn around and will be great to see Salah back on the field.
You sure they'll turn around? They are currently at number 9 on the table.
Now, you see, this is perfect for Salah. Salah likes a comeback story. Yes. So now you play Salah when they are 9th, they'll finish 4th. Because Salah has a comfort, he has a thing. When he's comfortable, he does not perform. And then, unfortunately for Liverpool, they're used to a Klopp. 6 years with Klopp. Mtu anakutreat kama mtoto wake. Then all of a sudden you are being benched, being thrown all around. Look at Isak not performing. Ekitike has become the star man at Liverpool. So,
Kidogo Belanda. Now let's move on to Chelsea. Chelsea had a draw with AFC Bournemouth. And they drew with Arsenal last weekend, and they were beaten by Leeds United. Currently, Chelsea are at number 5. Yeah, they're number 5 at the table. Arocho, tuseme Chelsea wameshatoka hapo, title contenders wameshatoka hapo kabisa.
Me, I'm not surprised. I'm even surprised with the people who thought that Chelsea could hold. The reason why I'm not surprised is because I feel that Chelsea is still bloated. The team has many players, and as a coach at times, and I hope coach will attest to this, you tend to get mixed up. And that's what I think is happening at Chelsea. On and off situations is not something that a coach will look forward to. You play one match so well, the other match, and they brought in back their midfielder. The guy who's been doing a lot of job in that midfield is called who? Sorry?
James?
No. The guy who's been injured for some time is back. So for me, I thought that coming back of that collective midfield, I mean, this should have given Chelsea that push. I'm not seeing the push. I'm not seeing confidence in the team. I also have a problem with the kind of coach that Chelsea has. Coach Kagedi has talked about charisma and the personality within the coach. When that lacks and there's a lot of confusion, then there's turmoil. And I feel that is what is happening at Chelsea. The turmoil might not really help the team. I'm not seeing Chelsea playing in the Champions League unless the likes of Sunderland, United, Liverpool don't make it to the Champions League, because the bus is already full. When you have Arsenal, you have Man City, you have the likes of Sunderland, I believe will live up to the bill. You might have Newcastle, though is another team that is so inconsistent. Today wako hapa, kesho wako hapa. Tottenham is another team that. So I'm seeing Chelsea being boxed out of the Champions League in the coming season.
Wow. From title contenders to being boxed out of the Champions League. Enzo Maresca is a coach of tournaments. If you look at his rap sheet, he went on to win the Club World Cup. How, we don't know. He just sneaked in, he won. If Enzo Maresca gets to the quarters of the semis of the European competition, my friend, imeenda. So I think with Chelsea, there's a lot of inconsistencies. Look at how they played against Barcelona. How do you explain you beat Barcelona and unashindwa kufunga hata bao moja against Bournemouth? So there's a lot of inconsistencies in that team, and of course it's a big team. Chelsea is a very big team, so man management is also a big factor, because ukona everybody that you want, but will you play them to, like for example, if you're playing an AFC Bournemouth that will tend to frustrate you in the midfield and in the defense, how do you play with that? Chelsea pia ni timu ya siaka. Once you kill their speedy wingers, you're done. And you see, a Chelsea that is heavily reliant on striking force and speed, if you block that, and you see, Chelsea ikona Estevao, ikona Neto, ikona Palma, ikona, I'm just naming strikers, and they're not even able to score one goal. So for Chelsea, I thought they were going to be title contenders, but I take that back. In leagues, they're not consistent. In tournaments, they're very, very good.
Kabedi, before I give Arocho 1 minute of something I know he'll talk about very well.
Okay.
Chelsea, the Blues.
Quite unfortunate for the coach, being super inconsistent in the league. I think the coach has to find a way to strike confidence in the whole squad. I feel he's quite not unsure with his squad, and you see how a coach like Zidane will give confidence to a player, even if you are not being played, you still feel you are part of the team. Okay, so I think Chelsea need to find a way to do that. Are they still league contenders? I think they're still league contenders. I think it will be too early to box them out from that contending log part of the table. So let's see what happens. But if they strike that balance of confidence in the players, then they might even win the league, which it will not be an easy tournament.
Baby.
You are struggling
okay?
even to say that.
He's trying to say
Even
it.
struggling to
I
say
don't know.
No, EPL, anyone can win at the moment.
Tuko
It is
December.
It is still too early. Actually,
is
funny
not
enough,
early.
most people say the league is won in December. And I normally do not disagree with that. I add December and January fixture. Those 2 months is where the league is won. So I think it's still too early to
But-
have them off.
Tuko match
Confidently you say
15,
Chelsea
ama ni
might.
16.
But anyway, it has been fantastic. Thank you so much. I want us to talk about Manchester United, but Dante amesema taki hiyo maneno. Thank you so much Kabethi, Annette, and Arocho.
We will win.
We will
Today,
win.
United is winning.
Danko, you've heard
Manu,
that.
let
We
me
are
tell you,
winning today.
Manu loses the games you think they'll win. And then the games they're supposed to lose, that's what will happen today.
Pangui. Thank you so much. I am Katela Macy. Good morning.